fight time! The first bout of the evening is brought to you by Tobaccoology, fine cigars and tobacco run by fine people with locations in Manassas and Haymarket. First off, making his way to the cage and fighting out of the red corner, it's Nick Johnson.
Live tonight at CageZilla 52 here at the Michael & Sons Sportsplex in Dulles, at Dulles in Sterling, Virginia. And I have the honor and the pleasure of filling Kevin Schaefer's shoes tonight, sitting next to Charles DeGisco for this unbelievably great, loaded, stacked fight card. And I am beside myself with excitement. Chris Fuller's going to step out of the cage and join us down here shortly as we await Nick Johnson from Capital MMA making his way into the cage. Stomping his way in. Good to see you, Charles.
Great to see you, man. Good to be back after a 5-month hiatus.
Making his way to the cage and fighting out of the blue corner, it's Qataada Nubani.
Qataada Nubani, they call him Q. He fights for Makito MMA. We got, what, 4 fighters, I think, from Makito tonight. They're a really interesting gym. Brent Hess is the head coach. He's in the Hall of Fame here at CageZilla, I believe. His dad started that gym in 1982. 2 styles of karate, taekwondo, judo, our niece, near and dear to my heart. Q's kind of new to MMA. He's only been really hardcore training, he says, for about 3 months. He's from Palestine, or his parents are from Palestine. He's 100% American. But he wrestled in high school, and he says, before the fight, he says, I want to put on a show.
Well, I'm sure he means it. You know, from that area of the world, especially a place like Palestine, the fighters that come out of these countries that have constantly seen conflict, that have constantly seen oppression, they have this fight ability. I don't know if it's genetic or what, but they have this innate ability to do things that take other people a long time to learn.
Exactly.
And I'm really interested to see Qataada come out here and represent his country and his skill set.
If you're from someplace where you've been through a war, fight camp's no big deal.
Right. And you know, his parents being, he's first generation, right? As his parents were immigrants direct. I mean, they have got to have instilled a work ethic and a belief in him that you won't get in other parts of the United States from 3rd, 4th generation.
And his opponent, let's talk a little about Capital MMA. He trains under Joe McMahon at Capital MMA, Nick Johnson. This is a 140-pound catchweight bout. Nick wrestled it when he went to high school in Tennessee. He's got less than a year in MMA, but he's trained some jiu-jitsu. He said natural progression, was into MMA. And you know what? It's amazing how many folks, as Q gets into the cage, how many fighters work with disabled kids? I hear it all the time. He works for Park and Rec, Nick does, and he for Prince George County, and he works with disabled kids for Parks and Rec. Well, happens all the time.
That's such a rewarding, field to get into, and it's funny, and I'll tell you, a lot of those skills will come in handy, especially the grappling and learning how to control people. Because you don't always know.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds in the catchweight division at 140 pounds. Starting out, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5'6" and weighing in at 140 pounds, fighting out of Capital MMA, he's making his CageZilla debut. It's Nick Johnson! And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5'6" and weighing in at 140 pounds, fighting out of Makito, he is also making his CageZilla debut. It's Qataada Nubani! Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds at the catchweight of 140 pounds. Your referee is Michael Dolman.
Ladies and gentlemen, CageZilla 52 is underway. Welcome back, Chris.
Thanks, buddy. Here we go, guys. Big fight starting us off. Two newcomers to CageZilla, but coming from 2 of the best schools in the area, so get ready for some action.
Very good schools. Nick Johnson working on a single, trying to transition to a double now against the cage. He's got the hands clasped, look for him to suck Qataada in and get that excellent defense though from Qataada. Very good reversal there, deciding he wants to stand instead. Nick again on that single.
And already it blows my mind, especially this part of the country with so many good gyms. Does this look like a first fight for either one of these two guys right out of the chute?
No, I mean, that was excellent defense and excellent shots from both fighters there. Good reversal. Solid ground and pound from Qataada.
Oh, Nubani said he wanted to put on a show when I talked to him in the green room before this fight. There's a big punch.
Oh, and a nice sprawl on that double.
Very good. His hips are down. Now, Nick is in on a single, but what he's got to do if he wants to finish that takedown, he's got to skirt his entire body around Qataada, get behind him side by side, and then drive through, putting Qataada on his side.
He looked like he was trying to do that, but I think Qataada had his knee.
He does. And one thing Qataada's doing really well right now is he's using his right leg and not letting it go in between Nick's legs, and that's going to prevent Nick from running the pipe. Nick was able to transition to a double there and got his hands clasped. Very nice chain wrestling from Nick Johnson.
Two guys with wrestling experience from their high school days.
Well, that would make sense why Qataada had such good hips, especially when he sprawled, and his defense is really excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, his ability to regain guard and find a way to get back up to his feet is very impressive.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you're here with us live in Sterling, there is not a bad seat in the house. But boy, oh boy, if you're watching on GoSports.com, welcome wherever you are in the world. And I am never cease to be amazed by the angles that the GoSports teams put together. We have a monitor right here, so we're watching right along with you, and welcome.
Good transition from Qataada.
Beautiful.
Worked his way back up to the feet and then hit a bit of a side throw, but now he's got to be careful.
Uh-oh.
He's got his back taken, and now Nick is flattening out his hips, able to take Qataada's back.
So I was going to mention this a little while ago. This is a classic example of striker versus wrestler. You could tell that Qataada wanted to get the fight back on his feet as soon as possible, and Nick Johnson just doing a great job of keeping it on the ground, and now he's in a very dominant position.
Yeah, he did a good job of flattening Q out a little bit there.
You know, and one of the things you'll find in your debut fight is the want to be heavy and come forward. And that was what cost Qataada. He came a little bit too heavy, a little bit too forward, and that was what opened up the takedown as we got here 5 seconds left in the round.
What an opening first round. Wow.
Debut fighters. And ladies and gentlemen, if I may, bear with me while I take care of some housekeeping. This event is brought to you by Wild Style Productions. Check us out at getwild.com, WYLDE.com. Let's go to the replay as Coach McMahon talks to his fighter.
And this right here, you see Qataada gets into a bit of a modified half guard as he postures up and landed some vicious ground and pound. And here's some more chain wrestling and counters from both guys. See, now Qataada actually hit that throw really well, but then he hangs out here and he allows Nick to come out the back door and take his back.
Didn't push off that knee. If he would have pushed off that knee, his hip escape out.
Right, it's a game of underhooks, you know, and that it took me years to learn how important these underhooks are. And if you're missing one, you're going to end up in these constant transitions and these constant back and forth rolls where you won't get that dominant position.
Big deep breath there by Nick Johnson. Qataada looks ready to go.
He's a powerfully built individual too, isn't he?
Absolutely, absolutely. He looks ready to rock. Actually, has a bracelet on his left ankle. I'm surprised that got through.
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't know if you guys saw it when Nick Johnson got in the ring, but he scared the heck out of me when he jumped. I was not ready for that.
Loud noises.
Yeah. He was ready to go.
Looking for that counter is Qataada. Hands a little bit low.
Ooh,
big Superman punch landed.
Oh, and they want to discuss it a little bit. That's fantastic. I'd like to see Johnson throw that jab with a little more authority because I don't think Q is paying that much attention to it.
Good side kick. See right there, you saw Q came a little heavy.
Yeah, Nubani's hands very low too.
They're low, and Nick's looking for that takedown. Beautiful
nice
shot.
Nice level change, beautiful shot.
But Qataada did something very good here. Q just got his back right to the fence, and he's going to walk right up, forcing Nick to go to the single. And he's got some solid defense here. Nick is able to get him down, but with that underhook, Q is going to continue to get back up, force his back to the cage.
Another savvy veteran move out of a debut fighter, paying attention to his corner, looking over, listening to the advice they're giving him.
And they're imploring for him to pop up. So he's listening to them, but he's not making a real aggressive move to get up.
Nick Johnson has something to say about that too. Best laid plans and all.
You know, one thing you'll forget when you're making your debut fight is that it's scored round by round. You know, and even though that first round was close, Q ended up belly down, and that was Nick Johnson's round. So very quickly here, if Q doesn't do something, he could find himself losing the second round as he's being controlled here against the cage, and we're about halfway through. Good use of the underhook and an excellent reversal.
That was fantastic.
Now Q's in half guard, and he's got the underhook on the right side. If he wants, he could try to slide his left foot through and go into side control, and he'll actually be in a good position because he's going to have Nick up against the cage. So Nick won't be able to wall walk the way he would or push off of it.
Nick doing a good job with that underhook, not absorbing a lot of punishment, though.
Absolutely, absolutely. He got that, and now he's holding on to it. Now he's got to kind of work his way up to the cage and sit, wall walk up.
And just as I said that, he lost it.
Well, in transition, it's so easy to lose.
Oh, big shot.
Good ground and pound from Q. That one got through there. Now Nick's working his way up.
Good job, good defense. But man, those are some big shots out of Q.
He ate those punches and still had the wherewithal to try to get off his back. That was impressive.
It's good instincts, very good instincts. Excellent ground and pound from Q. Amazing that he's only been training for 3 months.
Yeah, he was awfully high. He settled down a little bit.
Yeah, I was looking for him to kick that left leg over. There we
it
go.
Goes.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
With the knee that far back, it would be unlikely that he'll get any sort of submission there as the round ends.
Amateur knee bars make me nervous.
Any knee bars make me nervous.
Our main event tonight, ladies and gentlemen, just to mention it because I am beside myself with excitement. Coaches Division lightweight title. Sugi Damdine of Pentagon MMA against Gordon Emery, Charlottesville BJJ. It's got to be 40 or 50 years worth of experience in that cage from two very capable men.
Significant amount of experience from both guys, and we're going to see some high-level work. But let's jump back here. Here's the Superman punch. Connected flush.
That was well put together.
Nick shrugged it off, though. He handled it well.
Nick tried to act like that didn't land, but
you can see he looked down pretty good.
Yeah,
and here's some of the tough ground and pound. And I'll tell you, that was an interesting round because initially I was like, Nick Johnson's winning this round, but after the reversal, I think Q really put it together and stole it.
So we're 2 rounds in, fellas. Who has to win this last round?
I think it's anybody's fight.
I agree. I think
this
is the fight right here.
All right, third and final round. Here we go.
Right out of the chute at 52. How do you like this, fellas?
It's what we've come to expect from CageZilla bouts.
Ain't that the truth?
Right up against the cage. Good defense, Q.
That was great.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That was an excellent shot from Nick Johnson, but Q was just able to get his hips in. But strong chain wrestling from Nick Johnson.
Yeah, relentless.
Beautiful single. Wow.
It's not bulldog.
It's not easy, guys, pulling a single off the cage. To suck somebody in when they're able to put all their weight back and lean against something is very impressive. And he settled into half guard here, but he's got his hips heavy on Q's, and that's going to allow him to maintain some level of control here that he wouldn't have otherwise. And you can tell he's got the underhook on the left side as well.
He's also raising that left knee, trying to kick it over.
He's looking for side control, and this is a good spot to get into side control because you're gonna be parallel to the cage.
Exactly.
So you won't be able to use it the way you would otherwise.
Q's movement on the side. Now, does it depend on your fighter, Charles? If you're coaching here, if you're cornering, are you calling for ground and pound here, or are you looking for submission yet? It's the third round.
Look, if I'm Nick's corner, I'm telling him to keep doing what you're doing. You're controlling it well. This is your fight now that you're winning.
Gotcha.
If I'm Q's corner, I'm telling him to abandon those small shots that you're doing, get your underhooks, and work your way back up to the feet, either by reversal, submission attack, and that was beautiful transition from Nick Johnson as we were talking, that he slid that leg through. He kind of played possum there and changed the pace, and then snuck it right back in and was able to get mount.
I don't know if you could hear it over our mics, but there was a call from the crowd. Your mother says, get up.
Well, he's got to do something here because this is a tough spot to be in. And again, he's parallel to the cage, so he can't use it. You know, he was looking for it, but now he's got to start popping his hips, you know, changing levels. He's got to do something to create the space necessary to get up, because this is not how he wants to finish this fight.
Yeah, but I mean, if your mom says get up, you're going to try even harder. I'm practically standing up.
He's trying.
Under a minute left here, guys.
Q, I need you moving down on the bottom. Let's go.
Excellent
Boy, a
control.
heady fight out of Nick Johnson.
Yeah.
Smart fighters, good plans out of both these fighters.
Yeah, this was very good control from Nick Johnson. He's doing a great job of countering Qataada as Qataada, Q gets up and tries to explode up. He rides with it, and he stays kind of just like a wet towel right over him.
And no lack of effort out of Q either. It's not for lack of trying.
No,
He's trying to slip out the back door, but Nick Johnson's just staying heavy on him.
Very good top pressure.
And that'll do it.
Very strong finish from Nick Johnson here as he rides out this third round.
He did what he needed to do, guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was a great fight. Great fight from both guys for a debut.
Nick Johnson and Qataada Nubani, ladies and gentlemen. Remember the names. This is their debut. Keep an eye on CageZilla. Stop by CageZilla.com to do that very thing. CageZilla.com will have your fight cards. It will have more info. You can check us out on Facebook, check us out on Twitter, check us out on Instagram. CageZilla 53 returns to the Dulles Sportsplex on December 15th. Won't be long now. And this is some big news, and I know my friend Charles is very excited about this. CageZilla makes our Florida debut on January 19th, 2019 at Revolution Live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Let's go inside the cage as Chris Fuller making his way in with the judge's decision and the scorecard. Don't forget CageZilla.com, register for our email list, rewards program, and receive special discounts and promotions. Here's our replay, Charles.
Q just working some vicious ground and pound. And this is where he hit that excellent Superman punch. This is, and these replays are all from throughout the fight. I believe this occurred in the second round. Q landed some more very hard ground and pound, and that was where he won the fight. And this is where, excuse me, the round, but this is where I believe Nick Johnson won the fight.
This is where, yeah, exactly.
Maintained mount and control for the majority of that third and final round.
And the control is the key, isn't it? Because sometimes I think Demetrius Johnson was robbed of his belt in the last fight because
couldn't agree more.
The takedown, you got to do something with it. But in that case, Nick Johnson, and to control the guy who showed that he's tough. Those first two rounds were extremely competitive, lots of fun to watch.
Very back and forth, and it looks like we got Chris Fuller here, ready for the decision.
Here comes Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard for the decision. Judge A scores about 29-28, red. Judge B scores about 29-28, blue. And Judge 3 scores about 29-28 in favor of your winner by split decision. Out of the blue corner, it's Qataada Nubani!
Qataada Nubani, wow. I'll tell you what, man, that fight was so close. I could absolutely see it going either way.
I had no problem with either decision. If you gave Qataada the first 2 rounds,
Yeah,
I'm not going to argue with you, that's for sure.
Not at all, but I'll tell you what, Nick Johnson did a great job, and you know, he shouldn't be disappointed. He had a great third round and really did excellent.
Oh, can't wait to see both these guys back in CageZilla.
And Q just ran out of the cage for as fired up as he was. Now he's coming back.
Bridget
get
and
his
Caitlin still have his trophy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get a chance to get your picture taken with Bridget and Caitlin, why not?
Yeah, I was going to fill in for him, but
Bless your
he
heart,
made it
Charles.
back
You are
over.
an altruistic human being.